Civilians shot in the back as they fled, women repeatedly raped, children mutilated, hundreds of bodies dumped in mass graves. These are just some of the allegations levelled against Putin's troops, as they, and indeed he, stand accused of war crimes. Human Rights Watch appears convinced that Russian troops are breaking the laws of war. They claim a woman told them that a Russian soldier had repeatedly raped her in a school in the Kharkiv region where she and her family had been sheltering on March 13th. She said that he beat her, cut her face, her neck and her hair with a knife. The next day, apparently, the woman fled to Kharkiv, where she was able to get medical treatment and other services. Other allegations include Russian soldiers in the village of Vorzel, about 50 kilometres northwest of Kiev. Apparently, they threw a smoke grenade into a basement, then shot a woman and a 14-year-old child as they emerged from that basement where they'd been sheltering. Apparently, there have been numerous reports of civilians being made to kneel down and then being shot in the back of the head, sometimes with their hands tied behind their back. Now, although videos are extremely hard to verify, one must always be very careful to avoid falling into the trap of propaganda during times of war. There is some compelling footage from around the towns outside Kiev. It shows bodies lying in the streets as though people were gunned down as they went about their daily business. Now, Alexei Gorcharenko is a Ukrainian MP who will be joining us shortly, actually. He took a video yesterday showing the aftermath of a Russian attack on a civilian car. A little girl was badly wounded. A lady, believed to be her grandmother, was slumped in the front seat. Her head had been blown off. We clearly have to ensure that the evidence is entirely there before we start lobbing war crime accusations around, but it is starting to look pretty overwhelming. One of two things has happened, hasn't it? And they're both very bad. Either Putin is directly behind these alleged war crimes, in which case he is a war criminal, a butcher, a madman, a psychopath, and someone who should spend the rest of his life behind bars. Or Putin has lost control of his troops and they are simply acting of their own accord, committing war crimes as they retreat, potentially in revenge for the heavy losses they've suffered at the hands of the brave Ukrainian troops and civilians. No matter which one of those situations has happened and which one is true, there is one common denominator, isn't it? The slaughter and rape of innocent civilians. And I have a sinking feeling that this is going to get worse before it gets better.